Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to reset ads that stopped converting and how I use warm audience data to scale properly to cold audiences. So this is something I've tested on my own brand and on clients' accounts, and it works when your ads start acting funny. Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future videos on ads, marketing, and scaling your brand. It's really going to help my channel grow. Now let's get into it. The first thing you want to do is visit facebook.com. Now, from here, you click on this boxed icon, the menu icon, scroll down and select Ads Manager. So you can also do this by going into adsmanager.facebook.com. So that's the straightforward way to do it. But I like to make things look easy. That is why I'm going through the facebook.com route, because not everybody knows all these websites. But going through the main website or the main link is much more easy. So from here, the next thing you're going to do is select the ad account you'll be working with. Please always remember to do that. If not, you'll be setting your warm audience under the wrong ad account, or you might not see or get data for the warm audience you want to create, or you might not even see the Instagram account you want to work with. So clicking here, I'm going to select the ad account I want to work with, which is this. And the next thing I'll be showing you how to do now is to set up your warm audience. Now, from here, you're going to click on this people icon you can see to the left hand side. Now that's your audience icon. Click on it. And yeah, this is where I want us to be. After getting to this page, you're going to click on create audience. You select custom audience, and your source is going to be Instagram account. Remember, we're doing this for an Instagram ad that hasn't been converting properly. So we're looking for ways to fix it and have it convert better. So you select Instagram account. That's where you're going to be getting your warm audience from, and you click on next. Don't forget, your warm audience is an audience you've reached out to before. Whatever thing they must have done on your page, whether followed you, liked your ad, visited your profile, liked or saved any video or post from your page. So now we're going to work with, you can select, this person has actually collaborated with this account before. There were some connections we did, but the connected account here is this one. So I'm going to select it. Now, we're going to make use of people who engage with these professional accounts. That's the event we'll be working with. And the audience retention, for the audience retention, we can do from 180 to 365 days. But for the purpose of this video, I'll be doing 250 days. So if you want to include more people, you can do that. But I really just want to focus on one event for now. So let's name it testing YT targeting warm. I'm going to, it's kind of complicated, but I just need keywords I could remember. So now let's call it this. And we're going to click on create audience. Now, since I'm showing you how to do this from scratch, you need to understand that when you set up a custom audience or a warm audience, you have to wait 3 to 7 days for that audience to populate. Now, this allows Meta get much more data from the audience that they could use to help your ad perform very well. So I want to show you something. Let's just click on done here. Now, this is the audience we just set, testing YT, retargeting, warm one. Now, you can see here that this is still populating. I created this earlier and it's also still populating. So once you set up your retargeting or your warm audience, you allow it 3 to 7 days for it to populate. Now, when you do that, you can use it after it's done populating, or if it's still in the process of populating, you can then use it to run your ads. So please, when you're doing this, do it under using Ads Manager. Because if you go on Meta Business Suite, the app, you might not see your retargeting. It might take weeks, sometimes months, so many long days. So instead of waiting all those long days, just wait just come on adsmanager.facebook.com to carry out this process. Now, the warm audience has been set. This is the warm audience you're going to use to run your first ad. So under the targeting section on Ads Manager, you're going to select this. It's called the custom audience. It's also called retargeting. It's also called your warm audience. So this is what you're going to be using to set your audience under ad set for the ad or the campaign you want to run. Now let's assume this has populated for 3 to 7 days, right? We assume this has populated for 3 to 7 days and we've run an ad with it, or we are running an ad with it currently. Now we're going to create 3 variations of the ad creative. Let's assume we're using a video. We're going to change the first 2 to 5 seconds of the video. We're going to do it in 3 other ways. We'll create 3 other videos, but we're going to just change the first 2 to 5 seconds of those videos and post them to use to run ads. So now while the first ad is running, we post the other ones, and we're going to use the same warm audience when creating the campaign with the 3 other ads. So remember I said let's assume this has populated for 3 to 7 days already and you're already running an ad with it. Now, that same ad video you're using for the first ad you're running, you're going to redo them, but you change the first 2 to 5 seconds and change the hook. You change the hook. So it looks like different videos. So once you post those ones, you're still going to use this exact warm audience to run the ads. Now, while those ads, it's going to make a total of 4 ads now. While those ads are running, you're going to keep tracking the insights to see the one that is performing better. Now, you allow it 5 days to do this so you know which one is doing well. Now, checking those 4 ads, you're going to look for the one that is performing better, the best ad. You're going to look for it and you leave it on. Then the remaining 3 that are not performing well, you turn them off. Now you have the first one you want to make use of. Now what you're going to do after this is done populating, and after you've gotten the best performing ad, you come to create audience. You're going to select lookalike audience. You're going to search for an existing audience or data source. Click on other sources. Then you're going to create a lookalike audience under this custom audience after it has populated and after you're done using it to run ads and choosing the best one. Now, the lookalike audience is this one. What is your lookalike audience? The lookalike audience is the source you select that will be used to find new people who share similar traits. Your lookalike audience is your cold audience. You're trying to reach new people like your warm audience. Now, your warm audience are the ones that have already reached out to your page before. So now, after you've used it, you've seen how it performed for a particular video. You're now going to use that data to create a lookalike audience to attract people like your warm audience who have potential to patronize your business. So we're selecting the audience size. The location we're going to use is Nigeria. So if you're in any other country, you can do that. You can select that. So we're selecting Nigeria, and the audience size is about 512.8 thousand. So a 1% lookalike consists of the people most similar to your lookalike audience source. Increasing the percentage creates a bigger, broader audience. Now let's create audience. Okay, so the lookalike audience is set. It's populating too because the source we use, which is the custom audience source we use, is still populating. Now let's go back. Let's visit adsmanager.facebook again. So I show you how to duplicate. So after we've run those 4 ads and we've turned off 3 that are underperforming and we've gotten the best performing one. From here, go into the ad account you want to make use of and select the one you want to use. Now let's assume we've not run an ad. Remember, because those are still populating. If it was done populating, I would have shown you how to put up the ad with it and all that. But let's assume that these are, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 were actually turned on. Let me turn it on for the purpose of this video, for example. So let's assume these 4 campaigns were the first one and the 3 variations. So now let's assume the one labeled this is the one that performed better. So we're going to turn off 3. We turn off this one, we turn off this one, and we turn off this one. So now this is the one, for example, that performed very well. Now, we're not duplicating the campaign. Remember, there are 3 parts of an ad. We have the campaign, we have the ad set, and we have the ads. The campaign allows you select what? The goals. The ad set allows you select the targeting. And what we're trying to change is to change the audience. So we're trying to use the cold audience now after getting data from the warm audience. So we're going to click on ad set. Now, since what we're working in is the audience, would be working under the ad set section. So remember, we're assuming this is, or these are the ads we ran with the warm audience. So let's turn off the ad sets that didn't perform very well. For instance, let's turn off the first one, the second one. So let's assume this particular one performed, and let's turn off the last one. So now ensure that you select the ad set you're working with. Then click on duplicate. Go under original setup. Once you're here, you scroll down and select original campaign. The number of copies we're doing is 1, and we click on duplicate. So now this is the ad set we're working with. But what we're going to do now, remember I said earlier that we are assuming that we ran a campaign, then we created 3 variants, and we ran an ad with those 3 variants using the warm audience. We turned off 3 that were not performing very well and left 1 on, which is what we just duplicated. So we're not duplicating the entire campaign, we're duplicating just the ad sets. Now, under the ad sets, we'll scroll down to the audience section. And now this is it. Now remember, we did not actually use the warm audience. We're just giving an assumption. Now you scroll down and select remove saved audience. It's supposed to be a custom audience, but since we're using an example and the warm audience we just created is not yet populated, we're just going to assume this is actually a custom audience. But once you're here, you're going to scroll down and you remove the audience you used. Now we're removing the saved audience, and it's going to look like we've removed the audience. Now, what we want to select here is the lookalike audience that we generated from the other audience that had populated. So once you remove the audience under the duplicated ad set, you scroll up. So we're trying to use the lookalike audience we created from the warm audience. Now, come under custom audience and select search existing audiences. Now we're using this one, the lookalike audience. That is what we're going to be working with. Now, this allows you to what? This allows you reach out to people just like your warm audience. So it's called a cold audience. You'll be reaching new people just like the old people who have interacted with your page. So now it is telling us you have selected a custom audience that we are still matching to your profiles on Meta Technologies. This can take up to 3 days. Remember, just like I said, the warm audience we created needed to populate for at least 3 to 7 days. We're supposed to allow it time to populate, to generate data. So since we just created it now, it hasn't done that. Although we created a lookalike audience from that custom audience or from that warm audience or from that retargeting. So you can see what it is telling us. This can take up to 3 days. We can start running ads with this audience right away. but be aware that your audience size will increase as the audience is populated. Now you understand what I meant. So from the example I just gave, even though we did not already create an ad with that warm audience, you can see the process on how to create a warm audience. You can see that I explained that you should create different variants with different hook and to edit the first 2 to 5 seconds of the video. Then once you run an ad with the same warm audience for those 3 variants, you turn off the ones that did not perform well and leave the one that performed very well. Now the ad sets for the one that performed very well, you're going to duplicate it. Then you're going to remove that warm audience and select the lookalike audience, which is what we selected, which is the lookalike audience. So now we've edited it. The only thing we're changing here is the audience, the targeting. We changed it from what? A warm audience to a cold audience. Now, this is what is going to allow us to reach new people, just like our warm audience, who would be able to see our ads, like what we do, engage, and all of that. Remember, we've already tried it out with a warm audience to see how well we did. And we did it with 4 different ad creatives. So we tried it out with 4 different ad creatives, discontinued the ones that didn't do well, and left the one that did well. And that is the one we're using here, the ad set of the one we're using here, which we duplicated. And now every other thing remains. The only thing we're changing is the audience. So when you're done doing this, all you have to do is just publish. Ensure that your ad account is funded with money, enough money to carry out the ad. We're not changing the budget. We're not changing the creative. We're only changing the what? The ad set, the targeting from a warm one to a cold one. That will help us reach new people that have enough funds or have the capability to engage with our page, our ad creative, our ads, our products and services, and like that. So if you've been struggling with ads, if your ads have not been converting on Instagram, this is basically what to do to help you try out different variants of ads to get the best one that would perform, using your warm audience to generate data that would work for the new cold audience to help the ads to even do better. So a cold audience is people who have never interacted with your brand before. They don't know you yet. So instead of testing on strangers first, you test on people who already trust you, which is the warm audience. Then you take a proven ad to strangers. Remember I said we're not touching the ads entirely. We're only touching the ad sets. So the only thing we got to change is the ad sets. Now you can actually increase your budgets by 20 to 30% on the duplicated ad sets. I recommend that. So if you're maybe doing 8,000 naira per day, you can make it 10,000, you can make it 12,000. If you're doing 5,000 naira per day, you can make it 7,000 or 8,000 naira. So this is the full process. If this video gave you clarity, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and drop your questions in the comments. Also, share this with someone whose ads have been stressing them. I'll see you in the next video.